Hey everyone, welcome to Talk Daily. My name is Eddie. And yesterday, that was January 20th, according to this article by Motor Trend by Mr. Angus McKinsey, um, he states that he said less than 24 hours ago. Remember, this is January 21st, so that's he's probably talking about January 20th. The German Federal Motor Transportation Authority had formally approved the use of S-Class sedan equipped with Mercedes-Benz new Drive Pilot system on public road in Level 3 autonomous mode. And he goes on talking about he was one of the first people in the world, apart from Mercedes-Benz engineer, to legally drive or be driven by the Drive Pilot on real world road and in real world traffic condition. You might be thinking to yourself, well, wait, don't we have Tesla that do this? Well, I'll go on further, and he addresses that. Um, and they're talking about, see, he mentions this right now. In a way, he's kind of like shrugging his shoulder at Tesla. I'm just gonna read from the article. It shows he pointed out anyway. The engineer he was driving with an engineer. His name is Gregor Kugelmann, and he's a senior development manager of the Drive Pilot. He says he's talking about the Drive Pilot that it gives you autonomy, but if it's too dark, too wet, too cold, there's too much snow, the system will not operate. And he mentions that and I'm just gonna read directly. He says, now before Elon Bro starts singing and going all in Tesla, and again you just put a Tesla with a dollar sign. Anyway, it should be pointed out that Drive Pilot limitation are not due to technology it employs, but have been artificially imposed out of abundance of caution on the part of both Mercedes-Benz engineer and the German government. Drive Pilot, which will be available on German market S-Class model within the next few months, would only allow level 3 autonomous operating on certain section of the German Autobahn network at speed up to 37 miles an hour, only if certain weather conditions are met. I love how German it is. It's not 38, not 35, 37. It's just beautiful. Anyway, although they won't comment on the record, the rolled eyes, half smile, shaking head tell you exactly what engineers at Stuttgart think of Tesla's so-called full driving service (FSD) system. Privately, they're astounded. The FSD beta testing is even allowed on public road, getting Drive Pilot to meet Mercedes-Benz own engineering and safety standard, not to mention those of the German authorities, has taken years of work in test labs and on the proving ground. The Drive Pilot development program has so far racked up more than 8 million testing miles. We drove every foot of the entire Autobahn network at least twice, says Kugelmann, and the current test fleet comprises 260 vehicles. In 2015, Mercedes spent almost $1 billion acquiring a stake in HD Live mapping company here from Nokia to provide highly accurate baseline data for the system. BMW, Audi, Intel, and Bosch are also stakeholders. In addition to the parking sensors in front and rear bumper of the 360-degree camera in the rearview mirrors that are fitted to the regular S-Class models, Drive Pilot equipped cars have multi-mode radar unit at each corner, a front-facing long-range radar, and a LiDAR unit behind the grille, a stereo camera at top of the windshield, a regular camera facing rearward through the backlight, and a moisture sensing in front wheel well. That's amazing. You see all this tech that goes in it? The car knows to within a fraction of an inch exactly where it is in terms of absolute position, its relative position, and its position correlated to carefully measured landmarks that thanks to a highly precise positioning antenna mounted in the roof. The data is so accurate, even accounts of the effect of continental drift, says this engineer Johann Hab, and between 1 and 3 miles worth of is buffered into the Drive Pilot system at any one time. You see the precision is being put into this. The precision that I believe the Germans excel in. The Germans excel in that. The rear-facing camera is used to detect the flashing light of an emergency vehicle approaching from behind, although, hey, Mercedes, voice activation microphone in the cabin will pick up the sound of siren even if the vehicle cannot be seen. If an emergency vehicle is detected, drive pilot will hand control back to the driver. Similarly, if the moisture detector, which measures the sound level of spray from the tire on wet road, determines the road is too wet. I'm sorry, I'm smiling because I love the thought and engineering went into this. Determine the road is too wet, meaning rain and spray could interfere with the camera, radar, and LiDAR control will be handed back to the driver. Here shows you a picture of the steering wheel. You see that's the green thing they're talking about when it's green and when it's red and when it's blue. Quick recap. The Society of Automotive Engineers Standard SAE J3016 define a vehicle autonomous driving capability by way of level, which level 0 being no autonomous capability whatsoever to level 5 being fully autonomy. Would vehicle able to drive itself anywhere in all conditions? That's level 5. That's not what we're talking about. We're already familiar with level 1 and level 2 autonomy, where the vehicle assists the driver thanks to technology such as lane keeping assist and adaptive cruise control. Level 3 is the bridge between level 2, where the driver is supported by autonomous technology, but it's still in control of the vehicle, while level 4, where the vehicle is always in full control. And there's the key point. Level 3, the vehicle is in full control while in autonomous mode, until the moment the parameters under which can no longer operate autonomously are met. At that moment, when the car requested, the driver must take control. Level 3 is where it gets interesting, said David Cook, Senior Associate for Ohio State University Center for Automotive Research. In a recent interview at Automotive News, in Level 2, human is always in charge. Level 3, the vehicle is in charge until it's not. That's a good way of putting it. Again, I'm not taking sides, but you see the engineers at Mercedes saying the Tesla is not up to scratch. And there was an article previously, some video I have in previously. You could look at it in my playlist. It mentions that when the Tesla unfortunately collided with another vehicle, and I'm not bad mouthing Tesla. Okay, I understand technology is there's up and downs with technology, and errors happen. But I would imagine Mercedes has the resources to develop something that is profoundly stable. I won't say profoundly, but is able to present a technology that is stable, where other companies, and I'm talking about Tesla, most likely they don't have the luxury that Mercedes has of waiting and developing it fully. So Tesla will have to go between the lines and provide you with a product, because they still need to sell cars. Okay, well, Mercedes is selling a lot of cars. Mercedes is making money. Whether that program is taking off or not, Mercedes is making money. And Mercedes, it's a huge company. I mean, they spend, I heard figures, I mean, go ahead, put X amount of numbers per day on research. Okay, so again, I don't think that's a comparison between Mercedes. As I said previously, I love Mercedes. There's no to me it's just I love them. It is what it is, and they make amazing cars. They do. I mean, so I'm not putting Mercedes in competition with Tesla. They're two different things, in my opinion. They're two different manufacturers, two different philosophy. But anyways, it's interesting to see that the Germans the engineers in Germany are not. They're kind of mocking off the record. They're mocking Tesla's autopilot. We'll see. Maybe Mercedes will crash. Who knows? I mean, we don't know, right? I hope not. I hope nobody gets hurt. I'm not a pessimistic. I'm optimistic. I hope this technology will get better and better. And moving on. I'm not gonna read it phrase by phrase. This article is very, very interesting. And it's well written. And there's another part I want to read. This says a critical time lag between a vehicle ceasing to operate autonomously and the driver taking control is the prime reason for the extreme caution in the rollout of Level 3 by both Mercedes-Benz and the German authority. The rash of crashes in the US involving distracted drivers in Tesla operating in autopilot models that purported to drive, reported the driver near Level 3 autonomy has not gone unnoticed. So as you can see, the data from Tesla is being looked at in the German with with caution. I mean, what Tesla went through with the drivers, remember, because the weakest link in the car is the human in it, unfortunately, right? Because people who want autonomy, they don't want it because they're car enthusiasts. I stand by a statement. Really, they're not because they're car enthusiasts. They're just because they want it, so they don't want to drive. Then I have the money, I have the resources. I don't want to drive. I'm not interested in driving. That's what I'm getting in. That's not the reason to get it. It's meant to assist you because it's level 3. We're not at that level 4 yet. When the car is fully in charge, you are fully in charge. And I'll read that statement again. In level 2, human is always in charge. In level 3, the vehicle is in charge until it's not. Until it is not. So currently, it's what's going on with Tesla is a lot of people are not understanding that the vehicle, yeah, it is in charge now, but at some point it's not, and they're not there to take control, or are not aware of that. I'm not sure, but it's not like what's going on in Tesla is just unique to Tesla. It's just, I think it's an understanding of how are the consumer are using this new technology. So some tests shows that relieved of the task of mentally and physically controlling their vehicle, driver can take up to 15 seconds to reacquire themselves with what's happening, reacquaint themselves with what's happening around them on the road. That's very interesting. However, testing done by Mercedes-Benz involving average driver from age 18 to 85 showed that even if totally distracted, the test subject were asked to play Tetris on the center screen, while S-Class were self-driving level 3 mode. Most could resume full control in 4 to 6 seconds. I totally understand that. I mean, can you imagine if, I don't know, you have someone next to you, a child or something, and you looked away and you were distracted? I do not recommend you do that on a public road. Do not recommend you do that whatsoever. But I would imagine that to really to get back into focus should not take 15 seconds. Again, it's just off my head. Mercedes did actual study, okay, from 1885, and it shows that 64 seconds. And the cost of that system is saying about $9,500, and that's how much I charge in Europe for this service. It's interesting to say. So Mr. Kugelman jokingly suggests Los Angeles provide a perfect use case scenario for the current version of Drive Pilot. There is no rain, 12 hours of sunlight, and 10 hours of traffic jam. But only half joking, Mercedes already has 10 Drive Pilot equipped cars under test in LA crowded freeways, and based on brief experience behind the wheel, Drive Pilot will be money well spent for anyone who regularly endures the peak rush hour grind around the city. You can generally catch up on emails, watch the news, enjoy latte with your S-Class, deals with the mind-numbing chores of driving in a bumper-to-bumper crawl. And I think this pretty much it. Again, LA, SoCal is where it's at again, because we have the worst freeways and we have the good weather. And he said there's no rain. Although it rained a little bit, but I agree with 12 hours of sunlight, 10 hours of traffic jam. I mean, those are not really good things. We want rain, unfortunately. We don't want to be dry. We don't want forest fires everywhere. 10-hour traffic jam. That's very unfortunate. That's, again, if you guys don't know why we have 10-hour traffic jam, because nobody can afford to live where work is, and we all live in out there in the desert. Yeah, you think we live next to the ocean. No, we don't. Most of us live out in the desert. And we drive to work because we don't have public transportation. Again, I don't want to get into politics, but the point is, Drive Pilot is a first step forward, a much more highly autonomous Mercedes-Benz vehicle. The system will be upgraded to enable higher operating speed and fully autonomous lane changing capability. Under the German law, to be allowed to operate at level 3 above 37 miles an hour, vehicle will have to be able to autonomously reach a safe haven such as breakdown lane in case of an emergency. That's beautiful. Achieving that capability will require an additional of 2 rear-facing long-range radars. The technology I did mention in the videos previously talks about those kind of radar, the LiDAR, etc. I mean, this is happening, and this is part of luxury. This is wonderful. I think it's amazing news. And go ahead, please get a chance to read this article. I recommend it. I'm gonna look at the pictures real quick. This is the light that we're talking about when they're driving. It tells you how if the autopilot is on. I want to use the word autopilot, but it's called drive pilot. Look at this man. This is very happy. It's red. That means he needs to be in control. That's why it's red. See hands on the steering wheel. Look at that display. This is gorgeous. This shot shows you basically the all the instrument that's in the vehicle to give you to be able to collect all the information. And here's the green. That means hands off. It doesn't mean hands off. It means you could put your hands away. You can relieve it. Let the car drive itself. The sensors. I mean, again, it's just there you go. This one, it's not even on. This is on. There you go. See, it's just driving itself. But by the way, in front there's another Mercedes. Um, it's just I just think this is fascinating. It's just pretty, and of course, let's not take away from the car itself. Look, I mean, they're showing you taking G's and taking turns. This is a big saloon. That's, and again, California. I told you, Cali, always Cali. I love to test in Cali. All these manufacturers love to test in Cali. And look at the interior, beautiful interior. It's very welcoming to be in. So, anyways, yeah, let me know what you guys think. You think this is something that's worth pursuing, something you want to have in your car, or do you think, just in traffic, just drive? Adaptive cruise control is all we need. Let me know. I always look forward to reading your comments if you have any. And as always, thank you for watching. Drive safe. This has been Eddie. Talk Daily. Take care. See you next time. Bye bye.